Hi friends, it's Sarah from rufflesandrainboots.com. Today I'm making Dollar Tree fall mugs using a free SVG. If you'd like to make them, stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here crafting with me. I'm going to give you the free SVG for sweater weather, and we're going to make the other one right in Design Space. I'm going to be using these orange fall just mugs from the Dollar Tree. I love this color for a his and her mug set. I'm going to be using the Joy and this smart vinyl for the first time. You'll need a scraper, a weeding tool, some scissors, or a cutting tool, and something to measure with. I'm going to be using my iPad, so it's going to look a little different. But we're going to first start with cleaning our mugs with alcohol to remove lint and oils. I never place vinyl near the top of any mug or cup or tumbler because it's not food safe. I measure twice, I cut once. And one more tip is you need to let these cure for 3 days before washing, so keep that in mind. I'm going to put the link below to this free sweater weather SVG. You can see it's lettered with some hearts. It's very feminine and girly, and it's fun. All right, so go ahead and add that to your cart. And you can see it's free for everyone, not just for my subscribers. All right, so once you hit view your cart, you can proceed to your checkout, add anything you want. And then you'll, at the bottom here, after you fill in your information, click the read and agree to terms. And then on the left, if you want the free SVGs and you want the discounts, leave that selected. 2 ways to download. You can download right here from the screen or the email you chose to add at checkout. Either way, you're going to unzip it and upload the SVG file directly into your cutting machine software. I'm going to go to new and image because I am on my iPad. I'm going to choose sweater, weather, and insert down at the bottom right. A tip for measuring is you can always measure the inside rim of your mug, and that will work on any of the rounded surfaces. I'm going to use 3 inches, so I size it, and then I go to actions and attach that piece. So because I am using smart vinyl, I'm going to show you a couple screens that I have that you may not have on yours, but you can always use permanent vinyl on a mat, okay? So it's no big deal. All of that is the same. All right, so for the smart vinyl and the Cricut Joy, I'm going to choose, you see all the options that come up here? I'm going to choose without mat, so you can see Cricut Smart Materials only, and then you can see where it's positioned. You can, move it, on your mat, choose your material. Again, mine is smart vinyl and permanent. And then on the loading of the smart materials is you just kind of start it to where it just touches and then it pulls the material in, which is pretty cool, right? You don't have to wait on loading with the button. All right, so after it measures it, you can then hit go. Because I'm using the Joy and there are no buttons on the Joy, I have to use my Design Space to cut. I unload it and then I cut off all my excess just like I do with any other vinyl. So again, this is the first time I was using the smart vinyl, and this is real time. You can see this took me a little bit longer than normal. And the reason is because I really had to tug on some of, you see I'm like really tugging. I had to tug on the outside of this a little harder than I normally do with other permanent vinyl. So I'm going to speed this part up, which is just removing all the inside of my hearts and my letters. 99% of the time when I'm transferring permanent vinyl, I'm using contact paper. I love it. I burnish the front with the scraper. I burnish the back. I use my hands in the heat to transfer it, and it always works. But guess what? Not today. So I hopped in my car. I went to Joann's. I bought these in JOY because I'm going to make a Christmas craft with them, and I also picked up the transfer tape from Cricut, but that wasn't it. I went and found this video from Abby Kirsten about how to weed smart vinyl, and it was brilliant, so I'm going to put that link down below. All right, so when it's time, you can see where I'm placing it. It's in the middle of the mug. It is not near where anyone's lips can touch. I'm going to press just in the center and then cut little slits all the way around the outside of my transfer tape. And the reason I'm doing that is because I can pull it and move it a little bit on these rounded or curved surfaces. Now, this is my personal preference. I love using the heat from my hands to press everything down in the beginning, especially the little crossbars to the T's and the little edges to the hearts. those are always going to be, you know, the ones that move. So just pay attention to anything small and dainty or the ends of letters and you should be good. So again, you can see I'm pulling out that W to make sure it's nice and even, pressing everything down with my hands. This is real time. None of this is sped up, okay? So then I use the heat from my hands before getting my scraper tool. I just like to push it down a little bit, make sure those edges are really, really down. And then I just pull it off like normal. So you will, if you've cut your slits in your tape, you will actually find that it's going to come off in pieces, and that's absolutely okay. You can see here. Whoop. I'm going to just yank off that little piece and this little piece. But you see how easy this is coming off? Again, this is real time. This has not been sped up. This is not altered in any way. This is just me looking at everything. And so I'm not sure if you can see it, but inside this E is a little bit of the permanent vinyl adhesive. I always like to scrape that off before I let the mugs cure. So just FYI, just go through the insides of your letters on the outside edges and just make sure there's no sticky left over. Okay. So for the other one, I'm going to show you, I just went into Design Space and using only Design Space fonts, not that one, didn't like that one. I chose Caslon Black and chose the word fire, or wrote the word fire. And then I chose this chip decor, I don't know, for light A and weather. And then I just centered everything using the tools that, you know, Cricut Design Space has in it. There you go, just moved it all down. Again, I sized it to about 3 inches. I attached it. I am going to cut this one on a mat, which is just with permanent vinyl sheets. So I make that selection, I load my mat, it cuts, and I unload it just like normal. So I'm doing the same thing as I did before. This one I didn't have to cut any slits in because it's more of a block and I wasn't worried about the big blocky letters. You can see, here you go, all done. I'll do the same thing, is just making sure that there's no permanent vinyl anywhere, and that is it. This maybe takes 10 to 12 minutes. So really quick craft. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Do you have the joy? Do you have the smart materials? As always, please like and subscribe for more crafty fun.